So apparently it's a whole lot going on down in Tampa, y'all. I had no clue Tampa was popping like this. Okay. And it has got to be seen to believe. And that's probably why Selling Tampa is right now the #1 show on Netflix. Y'all are doing the doggone thing. Y'all are watched. Y'all are tuned in. Y'all are glued. And we're going to talk about it today. We're going to do a little recap of the first 3 episodes in this video. And don't worry, I'm going to get into just who these 2 ladies are. In case you don't know, this is Sharelle Rosado and Rena Frazier. These are the 2 that we are going to be watching kind of go at it this season on Selling Tampa. And baby, it's lit. It's lit. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get all the way into it. What's up? It's your boy, DJRichieSkye. We are back in the building. Y'all already know the drill. If you are in the house right now, go ahead and let us know, okay? And hit that like button, though. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the texting community so I can send you a text message as soon as the new video drops, okay? And then let us know where you watching from down in that good chat, okay? I see we got New London in here. We got Chicago, Harlem, LA. What's up? What's up? What's up? Delaware, Maryland into his naive, Michigan. Hey, Birmingham. Come on, Alexandria, VA, down the street. Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. Hey, who else we got in here? Rochester, South Georgia, Killeen, Texas, Chicago. I see y'all. Greenville, South Carolina, North Carolina. Hey, all my people in the building today from all over the place. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be talking about the fact that Nene got a man at home. We had talked about this last week. I could have swore it was last week. And I know a bunch of other people that talked about it too. Tisa Tells, a whole bunch of other people that talked about it. But now it's making the news, y'all. It's making the news, the mainstream news. You know, why is it always a thing where, you know, I don't mean to toot our own horns and not really mine, because I don't really feel like I cover news per se. I just cover, you know, headlines as they are trending. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to break no stories. I'm talking about the stories that are broke and giving you my take on it. But why is it always, it seems like that, you know, the black content creators, you know, that will tell the stories, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it's real, it's an exclusive on TMZ. Hey, y'all. Oh, Lord. We're going to have a little fun today. No shade to TMZ. No shade. Ain't no shade to TMZ. Y'all know, we know, just had to say it. We're also going to be talking about Basketball Wives today. We got some tea on the official cast. And then we're going to get into our Selling Sunset, you know, recap a little bit. Just a little bit of tea about that. For those of you guys who may be interested in watching it, but don't really know enough about it, we're going to tell you what it's really giving. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look-see at what's going on. All right? First things first, we're going to talk about Nene. Because, you know, hey, Joyce, thank you so much for the super chat. We're going to talk about Nene up first, all right? So I saw it first, and I always try to give you guys the place where I saw it being reported at again first. You know what I'm saying? TMZ has some, what they saying is exclusive details, okay? Exclusive details on the situation. All right. Now I'd already seen, again, we had already seen this. Shout out to our friends over at TV Deets. They always got some juice over there for us. But let's get into it. Now, y'all done seen this man before. Posted up with that good Peter Thomas and that good Nene Leakes. But now it's looking like things is official, you know, according to TMZ. All right. It's official. But, you know, I could have swore. Well, let me go on back for a second, because I could have swore I saw it on that good neighborhood talk. Okay. So Nene, had posted some photos. Shout out to Freddie O. Freddie O always, getting the good snaps at the functions down to Atlanta. If you're gonna have a function, you need to have Freddie O down there, getting your photos so they come out crystal clear, okay, and looking good. So she's posted up with this young man right here. All right. Now, apparently, we didn't really get into too much of who he was last time, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit today. They done outed this man as being businessman named Nyonesela CEO. I think that's what it is. Okay. Now, these were the sources, okay, are telling TMZ. Now, for those of y'all who are already in the know, you already know he owns a couture suit company in Charlotte, and he hails from Liberia, Africa. Those were the details that they're gonna give you on TMZ. Now, again, shout out to TMZ, but we already knew. Okay, we already knew, and I just want to say this. I had gotten some information that somebody had told me that the man was married or something like that. Now, I don't know nothing about that because I could not find nothing official on it, but that's what somebody had said. But regardless, I don't know about none of that. But what I do know is Nene got a man at home. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Listen, these ladies and these African men's, so can somebody tell me now, the African men, they must got it going all the way on, especially down to the Atlanta. Because they all seem to be very successful. So I don't really know what to say. Okay. I'm trying to find out what, because it was it was in my DM. Somebody has sent me that. And let me check my DM. Let me go back to it. Here you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was what I had heard. Okay. So I don't know. All I know is what the TMZ is reporting. And that's all I know for sure. Okay. Find you an African. Okay, find you an African man. That's all I can say. That is all I can say, y'all. That's it. That's all I got for y'all today. The African men and down into the Atlanta, they got it going on, apparently. Okay, Atlanta, Charlotte, anywhere below the Mason-Dixon line. Okay. Find you an African man. All right. Because they got it going on. That's all I gotta say. JC said, what a man. What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. Okay, that's all I got for y'all. That's really it. Oh, my Christmas album will be out next year. Okay, Christmas album will be out next year. That's all I got. That's it. Sometimes you gotta find love in a hopeless place. Okay. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Woo! It would be interesting because what you will see is if you head on over to Nene Leakes' page, in all seriousness, it would have been interesting to follow this story on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Can you imagine what we would have gotten this season if Portia and Nene had been back on the show? Because Portia was actually featured on Nene's page at her birthday soiree. Can you imagine what this season would have gave with Nene on there, her new man, Portia, her new man, everybody and the Africans. So I mean, I don't know. Listen, I just think it would have been TV gold. You know what I'm saying? It would have been TV gold. Thank you, Samuel Adams. All right, that's all we got for y'all. Shout out to our African folk in the audience. I will be in Africa. Side note, I will be in our motherland. I will be in Cape Town for the New Year's. So if you see me in the streets, it's me. Hey, wave at me. Anyway, I'm done. No, listen. I'm trying to tell you to get an African, okay? Get you an African man, okay? Because they got it going, And Wendy Elsefo did tell us, in a lot of African cultures, they do. I mean, they are being raised for success, and that is something that I definitely believe. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to our African brothers and sisters, because we might want to learn something from them. Okay. All right. Basketball wives. Let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. This is a site that I follow for basketball wives. For basketball wives news. Okay. So you guys make sure you follow them as well. Shout out to the basketball wives news, because we about to get something for the season, I believe. Okay. Isata says, LOL, love salt and pepper. What a man, what a man. Okay. This is what the basketball wives news is giving us as the official main cast for the new season of Basketball Wives. Okay. So we have here Jennifer Williams. We have Malaysia Pargo. We have Brandy Maxiel. We have Jackie Christie. And we have British Williams. Okay. Now, this is interesting to me because what they're letting us know is that these are the confirmed main cast members, and you will have Angel, Duffy, Brooke, and the two sisters, Nia and Naria, will be back as supporting cast members. So what that would mean, what that would seem to mean to me is that we will have these ladies right here in our official cast photos. These will be our headliners for the new season. And it is kind of different than how we are used to it with I would say Bravo shows, because VH1 typically will have like A cast and a B cast, right? So A cast is usually the main supporting cast. The B cast, A cast is usually the main cast. B cast is usually the supporting cast. On VH1 shows, that supporting cast can be featured equally as much as what we would say a friend would be, or a main cast member would be. So this is an interesting mix to me. I would have assumed that we would have had Brooke as a main cast member and Angel Brinks as a main cast member, because they're saying that there's a good bit of Angel's story that we're going to be seeing because of the pregnancy and some other rumors that are going on. So it'll be interesting to see how much screen time the rest of them get. But I'm assuming we'll get equally as much. But what do you guys think of this main cast for Basketball Wives. So, we have, and let's run down. We don't know what Jennifer is going to be bringing, but we do know Jennifer has been working on other TV shows. She's been executive producing. We know that a main bit of drama is going to come from Malaysia and Brandy and the fallout from their friendship. And we will see likely Brooke and Duffy, for the most part, I would assume, possibly on Team Brandy. And so that would really kind of leave, I don't know who on Team Malaysia, maybe Jackie, because, Malaysia and Jennifer is still in a tenuous place. So we don't really know, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting. We have no idea what Jackie is going to bring. But you cannot have this show without Jackie Christie. You cannot have Basketball Wives without Jackie Christie. I'm sorry, you just cannot do it. She is a mainstay, even if she has nothing going on, right? Yes, we do know that Shawnee is engaged, and she will only be making a few cameos throughout the season. So we will still get a bit of Shawnee, but I think that the amount that we're going to get with Shawnee is going to be good, right? It's going to be like, okay, you just dip in and dip out, and that's really all we need. Because what we don't want to have is another season of, all the girls just basically trying to get in on Team Shawnee because they know she runs the things. You know what I'm saying? So again, Jackie's gonna bring what Jackie gonna bring, right? We already know that she's gonna be good TV regardless. And then we also got British Williams, who is coming back. And what we will have with British is we are going to follow the scandal that she has been involved in. And according to the Basketball Wives news, we could be getting a scenario where it looks as though there may have been someone on the cast who may have snitched on her or something to that effect, or they're going to be maybe in search of who snitched on her. But regardless with those types of things, I always feel like this. I mean, I don't really, similar to with the Jen Shaw situation, I don't really think it's somebody on the cast that's snitching. I just think if the people gonna find out that you're doing something wrong, they're gonna be investigating you to find out if you did something wrong or not. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So that should be very interesting to see how that plays out and who is going to stand by British as she goes through this, as she navigates this whole situation. And I guess we'll see how that plays out. But according to the Basketball Wives news, this is your main cast. If you guys are excited about it, let us know down in that good chatterization. I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. Okay? Interested in hearing what you guys thinks. Let's move on because I love me some Wacky Jackie, baby. Love me some Wacky Jackie. Yes, congratulations to Shawnee. All right. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. So, just a little bit of intel before we begin. And I thought I sent this photo, but I guess maybe I didn't. So give me 1 second, y'all. I need to send this photograph over so I can post it on the screen. Let me tell you, I just love doing this live. Side note, I have a new video coming out on my other channel today. I'm back on my grind on that channel. So it's going to be a whole bunch of videos coming out over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys are interested in like the business aspect of any of this stuff on YouTube and business, just, and lifestyle and travel, definitely follow us there. And I have the photo up now. Okay. So let's pull it in. We're talking about selling Tampa right now. And the first thing I want you guys to know is, for those who are unfamiliar Okay. The centerpiece of the show, her name is Sharelle Rosado. She owns Allure, I guess it's Allure Realty, and she is the person who has the broker's license, right? So she has the broker's license, and she has a brokerage, and then that means the rest of the ladies will fall under her unless somebody else get their own broker's license, which we're gonna cover in a second, okay? But in case you did not know, Sharelle Rosado is with Chad Ochocinco. Okay. So, and I believe that's who the baby is by. As you guys will see here, she in the cast photo. I ain't pull up not near none of these files that I was supposed to pull up. In the cast photo right here, you see her pictured in the center, front and center. Uh, expecting now. I think she might have already had the baby at this point, but regardless, she's with Chad Ochocinco at this point. Now, what we also know is that she recently did an interview with Page Six, where she was asked about Chad Ochocinco and his past with Evelyn Lozada. Okay. And I'm going to pull that up. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for capturing this. A lot going on. Give me a second, y'all. Where's my Norman when I need one? Okay. And she basically says, of his whole scandal with Evelyn, she basically says, it wasn't a concern for her. She says that people make mistakes and she is not going to define him by his past, and that this whole experience, has made him into a different person now. And if we all are defined by our past, then we'll never grow. Okay. So, there's that bit of tea for those of you guys who did not know anything about this show. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of context for what we're about to talk about. Okay. The show is called Selling Tampa. All right. Now, let me head on over to the main cast and let me show it to you guys again. Now, I'm going to run you down the ladies from left to right. Okay. So on the far left, we have Colony Reeves. Okay. She is standing up on the far left. And beside her, sitting down, legs crossed, we have Carla Giorgio. In the back, in the bike, as Q says, in the bike, you have Alexis Williams. Now on the flow, okay, the young lady on the flow is Juana Williams. Okay, now I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of context. And right behind Juana is Sharelle Rosado. Sharelle and Juana are very good friends. They're very good friends. But the rest of the girls call Juana HR because she nosy and in everybody else's business. Okay. Beside Sharelle, she's sitting down with her legs crossed. You have Tennille Moore. Okay. And then beside her, you have Rena Frazier with the short blonde hair. Now, Rena is cause for concern, okay? Rena is going to be some cause for concern for Sharelle, okay? Just mark my words. And Anne, who is sitting up top on the far right-hand corner, she's a little firecracker too, okay? She's a little firecracker too. Now, what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted to give you guys that little bit of detail first, okay, about who these people are, give you some names so when I'm talking to you, you can understand what I'm saying. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to rate, if you have happened to seen this, I want you to rate it in the chatterization. Give me a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. For me, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm going to give it a 9.5 for episodes 1 through 3. Okay? If you are interested in selling Sunset, you will definitely be interested in this show. If you guys are interested in real estate mixed with a little bit of drama, then this is going to be the show for you. This is a show on Netflix, y'all. And the great thing about it is you can binge watch all of the episodes, okay? All the episodes are up there now, so you can see and watch the entire thing. Now, what I will tell you is the differentiation that we will have from selling Sunset is it is missing some of the editing gloss and filters of selling Sunset, because when you watching selling Sunset, it looks heavily filtered. Like when the ladies are sitting down in their confessionals, I mean, it is a glamazon filter on them for the guards. It looked like somebody put the Facetune on and just swiped all the way across it with the smooth feature. Okay, they did like that with the smooth. All right. Actually, they licked the finger, and then they did like that with the smooth. And then you know what they did? They saved it, and then they smoothed it again. Now, aside from that, what I will tell you is that I had no idea about Tampa. You know, when Drew's from Real Housewives of Atlanta husband, Ralph, had to skip town and run down to the Tampa, I had no idea what he was hop, skipping, and a jumping to. But after watching this show, I understand why he was running down to Tampa, okay? Because Tampa has got it going on. Tampa is giving Miami vibes, but on some type of other different level, okay? Now, I was clueless about the Tampa before, but let me tell you something right now. Tampa is where I wants to be because of this show, all right? Tampa is where I wants to be. So you get a lot of high gloss real estate, you know what I'm saying? But I will tell you something. These ladies, the ones that are single, they looking for some men's, okay? They are looking for some men. And when the men do show up on the screen, sometimes it be like, girl, you look like you want to stock this man up with a whole biscuit from KFC, okay? Now, listen, if they single, if the realtor is single, and the man is single, I mean, I don't see no reason why not. But it was one scene where Colony is taking a man, and so Colony and Ann, okay? So let me just refresh your memories. Colony and Ann, they're the two people on the ends. So on the left end is Colony, on the right end, sitting up top is Ann. They are like the bosom buddies. They are the frick and frack of this show, okay? They are like Portia and Phaedra, because they are the two youngest and they are the two that don't got no kids, okay? And so when they are out doing their showings, okay, and they showing around the man, and you know, Colony is telling Ann, hey girl, yeah, I think he'd be good for you. Well, and Ann want to know, well, what he working with? And Colony is like, well, I think you'll like it. And Ann is like, girl, how you know? And I'm like, how you know? And Colony is like, I just know. Okay. So I'm like, now, what be going on down to these houses? Okay, when you're showing the house, what goes down in the house? Okay, and how you know what he working with? She on the prowl, all right? She on the prowl. Now, you got Colony and Ann. They the freaking frack, the Phaedra and Portia, and then you got Sharelle and Joanna. Okay, are like the Shawnee and the Evelyn, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because Sharelle it's really, I mean, she's the centerpiece of this show. But sometimes the girls be talking to her any kind of way. And she just laughed it off, except when it's time to really get with them. She does get with them, okay? In the first episode, you know, there is a major function going on at one of their biggest listings, and then all the ladies are needing to step up their A game. And Sharelle and Joanna are really kind of like pushing for the girls to dress, appropriately, but they really worried about Colony and Ann, okay? Because Colony and Ann likes to show some skin, okay? And so ultimately, and there's Tennille. Now Tennille is a little bit of a pot stirrer, okay? I don't care, in case you didn't know, and let me show you one more time. Tennille is this young lady right here, sitting cross-legged to the right of Sharelle, who is expecting, with her hands over her knee, okay, looking all innocent and whatnot, but she far from it because she is kind of like a little bone collector, all right? Now, the drama really stems from Sharelle and Joanna wanting these two girls to dress appropriately. And then we get this note, we get this whole we get the information that Sharelle's mom's house burns down, unfortunately. So she's got to determine whether she's going to still go to the listening party or not. Ultimately, she decides to do so, with Joanna at her side helping her coordinate, because like I told y'all, Joanna is the Evelyn to Sharelle's Shawnee. Okay. Now, the other bit of juice is coming in because we find out as we get into the episodes that Joanna, unbeknownst to everybody else, is getting a divorce, okay, from her husband. She has been, they've been separated for 6 months. Don't nobody know. And she carrying this secret around that she finally reveals it to Sharelle later, okay? But I will tell you the biggest drama of this show. Somebody, Ronnie says, who is the Tammy of the show? Right now, I'm gonna say it's Tennille. Right now, I'm gonna say it's Tennille because Tennille is kind of like, she real slick at the mouth, but she also kind of like, she ain't over the top with it, but she kind of messy and shady at the same time. You know what I'm saying? On the sneak tip. We get a little bit of mess from both Tennille and Joanna, okay? Oh, maybe that's it. Somebody said Sharelle and I'm trying to think. Okay, Brittany says that Sharelle and Joanna are kind of like Evelyn and Jen. The only reason I differentiate them is because I feel like Sharelle is ultimately in charge, okay? Sharelle is ultimately in charge. But the biggest beef that's brewing is between Sharelle and Rena. Now, when Rena first showed up, Rena is the one with the blonde hair right here. When Rena first showed up on the scene, I literally said out loud, Rena is the type of real estate agent that I'm going to be looking for. She comes in, she had a pleasant demeanor. She looked very elegant and classy based. Okay. And so I was like, okay, she gives me what I feel like I need. You know what I'm saying? Just because, I think she might be a little older too, right? She seemed very knowledgeable. But apparently Rena is the rebel. Now, Rena's big issue is this photo right here. And let me tell you why. Because she ain't in it, okay? She ain't in it. This is the photo that they use at their little open house. That really, I feel like Joanna was really the person who picked it, but Sharelle, ultimately had the decision because they said this is the best photo that they had to use for promotion. Now, the story goes that Rena, unfortunately, chose to wear black when everybody else had on neutrals, okay? And then after that, also, Rena had to leave early because she had to do something with her kids, okay? But according to Rena say she was on time. These other girls was late. And she was told, she told them previously, I gotta go at a certain point in time. But ultimately, that caused her to miss this shot. And so she was already feeling some type of way, like kind of left out, being that she wasn't on this photo. And then they get to talking about it in front of a client, no less. I was like, no, why are y'all? First of all, I was like, why are y'all talking about this in front of the clientele who is sitting right here that y'all trying to get to buy this house? Y'all looking like y'all got all types of dissent going on up in this brokerage. But honestly, the guy, the client, he was egging it on. He wanted to know more. Give me more. Okay. He was like, give me more of this drama. Okay. So then Rena, okay, let me remind you who she is, had then went back behind the scenes and got her own broker's license, which means she can actually sell homes on her own now. Okay. So well, not sell homes. She can open up her own sort of agency on her own. And she can also, if she want to, try to pull some of these girls away from Sharelle. So Rena wants to leave. Okay. She don't know how to tell Sharelle, but it don't matter because Sharelle find out anyway on her own. Okay. So somebody told her production. That's what I think. Somebody told her because allegedly she had not told anybody at the agency. So now, you know, Sharelle needs to sit down and have a ponderosa with her. Like, girl, it ain't the fact that you got your broker's license. It's the fact that you did not tell me. So it looks like you're trying to be sneaky. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. Rena feel like she want to get her broker's license. Why is that a problem? Girl, go get your broker's license. Better yourself. And the other big issue is Sharelle wants to raise the rates that the agency is going to get from the real estate agents. So basically, Allure will take, I think, 80% of the profits from a sale of a home versus the 90 or the 95% of however much they had at first. And Rena's like, girl, this is how I make my income. And you trying to take my money. So number one, you telling me that you're going to charge a higher agency fee when you ain't even put me on the flyer to promote me. And now you want to take my money and you got a problem with me getting my broker's license. She's like, oh no, I'm about to be up out of here. And I'm thinking about getting up out of here. And I'm thinking about taking some of these girls with me. So that's what we kind of at with episode 3 as far as I made it. Okay. Personally, yeah. It went from 95 as the agency fee to 80. That's a big jump right there. When you go from 95 to 80, she might have wanted to say, we're going to go to 90 and then eventually get there to that 80, to that 80 place. But it was just a whole lot going on with that. But I'm going to tell you the truth. The rest of them girls was like, well, you know, I mean, it's Sharelle's company. So whatever it is, I feel like they was like, you know what? Sharelle, you put me on TV, girl. Take a little bit more. Okay. Go on. You can take a little bit more. I'm fine with it because all I got to do is sell some more houses. Okay. But Rena's like, no, you're not going to have all my money. All right. So it was very interesting. The show, again, guys, is called Selling Tampa. It is on Netflix. All right. It is on Netflix. It is the #1 show on Netflix right now. Okay. The #1 show. And I have been saying for a very long time that we needed a show that gave us Black excellence in real estate. Okay. And so in this cast, you have a plethora of minority women who are doing the doggone thing down in Tampa. Okay. So I highly listen. I understand you might have your doubts about it. when you watch the first episode, it is gonna kind of give a little like, ooh, this seem a little fake. But I will tell you, as you continue to get into the show, it does get better. Okay, it does get better. All right, it does. It gets better. Do not give up on it. Give it a shot. When we get shows on the air like this, um, we need to make it our business to watch so that we can get more of these shows like this onto these networks. And so I make it my mission to discuss these shows here because I want to see more of us minorities on television who are doing big things, because when we see it on TV and somebody is doing something that we didn't think about doing before, we can then see ourselves doing it in these aspirational type of situations. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of petty drama. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of that. But what I will tell you is that on Netflix, the drama is it may be a little bit petty, but they do give us they gives a high gloss show. And so I can't knock them for that. So please, I'm telling you, watch these shows. That's why I started talking about that's why I wanted to talk about the Encore. That's why I wanted to talk about Bell Collective. That's why I wanted to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, which was already pretty big for a lot of people. What if the more we talk about these shows on YouTube, the more creators who do videos on it, the more we get shows like this, and then the more we can see ourselves in these positions, the more talent we can employ. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bigger than what we just simply think it is for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And we can do our part by supporting and watching if you have an opportunity. So that's why I go up for these shows like this, and I want to talk to you guys about it because I believe in supporting, supporting people in general, but also supporting minorities, and getting us into these spaces where we can see ourselves and be represented very well. Okay. So that's why I'm so hype about it. All right. Now, absolutely. That's really where we want to go. At least that's how I view it on this channel. And I may be a little bit naive and kumbaya, and I probably a little bit too kumbaya for a lot of people, but I'm okay with that. Because that's the mission. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to today's Chatterization. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's see here. This video will be out. I'm gonna try to put it out like around 2:30 on my other channel. I'll put a link to this video down in the description. I need to upload it real quick. And once I do that, it will be up and ready for consumption with a whole lot more coming right after that. So hope you guys can tune into that channel as well. With that being said, guys, y'all know I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next video.